My name is Mike Michaud, and I'm a CTO consultant for a small consulting firm, Boston CIO. We provide high-level consulting for technology and leadership, filling in either temporary or part-time CTO or CIO functions. Also do due diligence with organizations that are looking to acquire companies, or do assessments of technology teams to see if there's anything that they need to do better in their organization, do assessment reports and that sort of thing. So give them guidance using our experience. All very experienced guys have been doing this for a long time. So I've worked offshore, onshore for many, many years. And I've worked with a number of different vendors. Kanda is one that I keep coming back to because they have a really good combination of the skills that I need, the technology that I need, and the approach that I want, which is really a partnership as opposed to, here, I'm going to provide some services to you, I'll provide some resources, and they're interchangeable. That model doesn't work for me, and I don't think it works well for engineering teams in general. And Kanda doesn't have that model. They have a model where they're really trying to create a partnership with the technology team. On one specific project that I worked with Kanda on, there was a real monkey wrench that was thrown into the process. I was going offshore with the development team. We had laid off a fair amount of the team that we had, and I made the decision to really put most of the resources offshore, and I selected Kanda as the vendor to do that. And at the time, I had a tech lead that was going to help with that transition. During the very initial first couple of weeks, the tech lead gave his notice. And so now I was left with no real plan on how to do a transition. I contacted the folks at Kanda and right away got a real senior guy that came over and worked with him during the several weeks that we had him, worked with my tech lead to really take over more ownership much more quickly than we had anticipated. The outcome of the project was that Kanda took it over very well and very adequately. They needed some time to learn because I had no team then virtually after that 3 or 4 week transition period. I had no team in place. So it did take some time for the team to come up to speed, but it worked much better than I could have hoped for, in that the company could have been in serious trouble if I had nobody that could keep the code managed and maintained and then start to move it forward. So we did a few releases that were maintenance, and then we started adding new functionality and then ramped up the complexity of that functionality fairly quickly. Kanda seems to be a good match for what I need, in that the team is engaged and doesn't have a whole lot of turnover, cares about the product, and brings a high level of skill to the problem set that we have. It matters to me that a vendor is invested in the project, and that's something that I think Kanda does very well. I think Kanda is very strong that way. The teams that I've worked with several, have cared quite a bit about the products that my team is producing.